Kwasa, professional trainer, professional chef. And this is the third day in our 30 days of transformation. So, mindset coaching, building consistency, getting a nice compilation of a complete movement practice, what most folks refer to as exercise. I like to refer to as a daily movement practice. A balanced movement practice is going to contain several components, right, to make sure that it's balanced. So that's going to compose of cardio for the heart, for strong heart muscle, strength training, which is super important, not just only for firm toned muscles, right? We want to think deeper than that so we can really have a big enough why. We need strong bones to prepare us for the future. As an investment, you're making a daily investment into the 401k of your vitality. Without strong bones, we are more prone to hip fractures. When we get a hip fracture, our lifespan goes down significantly. Our quality of life, the surgeries we don't recover well from because we don't have the muscles to move the bones. You're not going to have dense bones if you are not requiring them to work. So the muscles are moving the bones. You have to do strength training, period. You have to do cardio. You need the mobility so you're not stiff, so that your limbs and bones can travel a full range of motion around the joint. So we also need mobility and flexibility, right? Coupled with that, cardio, strength, mobility, and flexibility. We need positive feedback and accountability because most of us, we're not accountable. We're just not, and we're not consistent. That's just is what it is what it is, right? So if you can't be honest with yourself, not to beat up on yourself, you can't be honest with yourself, you're not going to get the results. The other thing is the positive accountability and the feedback, right? Some ways to track your progress. How can you tell you're getting stronger? So if you're on the 30-day transformation, you should be taking a screenshot of your heart rate monitor at the end of each workout. And if you've registered, you're going to get a link so that you can be a part of the private community and you're going to be posting your results every single day because I will look at them and I will give you feedback. So you have guidance, right, from someone with over 35 years experience, going on 4 decades in competitions and fitness and training. I trained 10 years at Equinox and blah, blah, blah. If you're doing this at home, the beautiful thing is you can be consistent. Consistency is key. I had the 15, 20-minute workouts, but most of us are not addressing the corrective exercises, balance, the mobility, the flexibility, which will keep you injury free. So you need all of those. We don't have the time to be skipping over and not doing the quality things, right? We need these movement practices. The other big thing is for your mental, right? The amounts of stress that we have running through our bodies with no relief, it's having a catastrophic effect on our mental emotional stability, on our nervous system. Our immune systems are compromised, so the movement is necessary. And your body knows what to do in the presence of whole, fresh living foods, sunshine, and the daily personal movement practice, right? So enough talking. Make sure that you have your water bottle nearby and something to wipe your face. Let me just grab my cloth to wipe my face because it's going to get very, very sweaty. During the week, we're usually setting our heart rate monitors for functional training, which is my favorite type of training. These videos will be made private for those folks that are continuing on with the full 30-day transformation. So, guidance with the food. If you are not losing excess body fat, that's because you're eating too much. Who you don't care what label you put on it. So we're going to get to the bottom of all those things. You will have the opportunity to meet with me every week to ask your questions so you the guesswork, right? So all you need is your mat. You don't even need to really purchase equipment, though most people have equipment laying around the house that they're not using. Bring your water bottle, your mat, your heart rate monitor. All those details will be discussed with you when you register, and then we'll be meeting weekly, right? This is 30 days. And finally, I'm going to say I invite you to really have a mindset shift. If you don't go underneath the hood to get to the bottom, to the root, to get crystal clear on your self sabotaging behaviors, right? Not to beat up on yourself and make yourself wrong. If you don't get to the bottom of it, you're not likely to be able to change it. Mindset is everything because the initial enthusiasm, it wears off. It just does. I'm just telling you, after 35 years, even if somebody is a coach that uses coaches, This says, say, for example, opening crown jewel has been a tremendous amount of stress, right? So it can happen to anybody. You can lose your motivation by giving it away to everybody else first, which is why we pay ourselves first, and just not having adequate release for stress and not having support. All right, so we're going to set our heart rate monitors for functional training. I can see right now that my heart rate is at 80 beats per minute. I'm going to tap that, and then I can see my heart rate represented as a percentage. So I'm at 45% of max, and I can also see at the same time, I can see both numbers, the percentage and the beats per minute. My heart rate is at 80 beats per minute. The average heart rate is between 60 and 80, right? The more fit you are, your resting heart rate is going to go down. That's going to be one of our indicators that our heart is getting stronger, right? Let's go ahead and get warmed up. I'm going to put my heart rate monitor over here at the side so I can see what I'm doing. I can see how much I'm burning at the end of the movement practice. A couple of things we want to check in on is posture. So we're going to make sure that our imaginary headlights on our ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders are pointed straight ahead. We're going to make sure that we don't have an anterior tilt. I'm going to tuck the pelvis under. So your pelvis or your pubic bone should be tilted forward. This is squeezing and compressing and shortening your lower back. That's going to contribute to back problems. So you want to make sure we start out with a good firm foundation. So tuck your pelvis, right? Belly button is drawn into the spine. So place your hand on your back and think of drawing your belly button all the way into the spine. Likely that's going to turn off. So several times during the movement practice, you'll check back in with your posture. You want to be listening to your inhale and your exhale to help you dial back into your body, to ground you into the body, because the mind is going to be all over the place saying, why did I get up? I don't want to do this. The mind is going to be resistant. The ego wants to stay the same because it registers as comfort and safety, right? So all of those things, let's get moving, right? So you have your heart rate monitor on. You'll set those settings up. Call me if you need assistance with setting your heart rate monitor. All right. Arms extended shoulder height. So that means my arms are active. They're not droopy. You want to try to keep them the same height as your shoulder. They can go a little bit higher, but we don't ideally want them to drop down below shoulder height. I'm extending all the way through shoulder, elbow, and wrist, and through the fingertip. I'm not stiff, but they are active, right? So you're going to kick up, same foot, same hand. Let's get the body nice and warm. This is one. If you need to bend your knee, you can bend the knee, but over time, you want to try to lift the leg up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and 1. Bounce on the balls of your feet. Shake your arms, your legs out. That's really good for your lower back. Next movement pattern. You're going to step back with a front arm raise. So step back. So arms reach up to the ceiling, alternate sides. If you need to go halfway down, go halfway down. Elbows are straight. Fingertips are pointed up toward the ceiling. Two more. Last one. 1. Good. And 1. Next movement pattern. You're going to alternately step forward, and you're going to touch your hands down to the floor. So you're going to touch your hands down in front of the right foot. Come back. Arms reach up to the ceiling. Opposite side. Good. Alternate. So it's not just a lunge. You're stepping forward to reach. Stomach muscles pulled in. I'm getting a nice stretch on the back of the leg. Touch the fingers down in front of the hand, in front of the foot, and alternate sides. So body weight is fine. As we progress, we'll add either add a water bottle or a little bit of resistance to help you to add your core. But if you're just starting Only body weight is fine. So step forward. Tap in front of the foot. Press it up. Alternate sides. One more on each side. 1 and 1. So I love efficient functional movement patterns, right? Because we get cardio, we get dynamic flexibility. We wake up the body same time. Next movement pattern. Your feet open, a little bit wider and hip distance apart. Reach your hips and glutes backwards like you're sitting on a chair. You're gonna lift this leg, one leg parallel to the side. So the seam of your pants ideally would be parallel to the ceiling. You're gonna hand clap at the top and at the bottom. So lift it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. And 10. Coming down to your mat. So we're going to work on our planks. So keep in mind, you can scale or modify anything, right? If you need to rest in between, listen to your body and take rest. If you have high blood pressure, you can alternately touch one knee to the floor rather than holding a full plank. So from tabletop position, walk your knees and back of the hips, decline to your elbows, tuck your hips under, and you can stay right here, but really engage your abdominals. That's level 1. Level 2, you're going to curl the toes under, extend your heels, straighten the legs out, tuck your hips under. Press your elbows into the floor so you're not sinking down. And breathe it out. If you need to rest, you can drop one knee down to the floor, or you can alternate knees, which is just as challenging, or take a break, drop both knees down, and then come right back. We're already halfway there. So if your stomach muscles are shaking, that's fine. Just breathe through it. You only have 20 seconds. Keep striving to draw your belly button into your spine. Get the core temperature nice and warm. Good, and rest. Tabletop position. Really spread your fingertips, press your hands into the floor. Fingertips point straight ahead. Your wrists, elbow, and shoulders are stacked underneath each other, and your knee is right underneath the hip. Step that right foot outside the right hand and come back to center. Alternate. Left foot steps outside the left hand. Come back to center and alternate and alternate. If you've been with me longer, you're going to extend your legs in a full plank. Step that right foot outside the right hand and alternate. Deep breathe. Step it out. The last one, we're going to hold it. So the back leg, really push that back heel towards the wall. Squeeze your glute on the extended leg so you feel a deeper stretch in the hip. Come back to center, opposite side. So the extended back leg, push the heel towards the back wall, contract or squeeze the glute so you feel a deeper stretch in your hip. Good. Come down to your knees, sit back, rock side to side so you can stretch out the front of the ankles. So already, about 9 minutes in, you're feeling yourself getting nice and warm. Let's take that again. So recheck pelvis is tucked under. Belly button is drawn into your spine. Extend the arms, shoulder height. Pick it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Shake it out. Alternate step forward. So remember, your own body weight is fine. Make sure belly button is drawn into the spine. Step forward with the right foot. Tap the hands down in front of the toes. Step back to the center. Press the arms up. Alternate sides. Press it up. And press. Heart rate is up. Next movement pattern, you're going to step back, front arm raise. So step back, arms reach for the ceiling. If you need to go halfway down, then you go halfway down. Bounce up and down, shake it out. Feet open a little bit wider than hip distance. Check and see what your heart rate is saying. My heart rate is at 84%. Reach your hips back and down, lift the leg out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake everything out. Coming down to the floor for plank. Take a sip of water. Don't gulp it down too fast. So you can take a modified plank from tabletop position. Make sure you're firmly pressing your palms and your fingertips down into the floor. So the pinky, index finger, and thumb are actively pressing. Walk your knees in back of the hips. Make sure you tuck your hips under. Squeeze your knees together. Squeeze your thighs together. Decline to your elbows and hold it right here. If you're a little stronger, more stable, you're going to curl the toes under and extend your heels toward the back wall. Keep actively pressing your elbows down into the floor. If you need to rest, you can alternately drop your knees to the floor, or you can drop both knees to the floor, rest, and then come right back. Actively tuck your pelvis under, draw your belly button into your spine. Press those elbows into the floor. Press your fists into the floor. If the core muscles are shaking, that's fine. They're working. Breathe deep. 15 seconds to go. So remember, if you have high blood pressure, you're going to alternately drop your knees down and come back. So you get a little rest in between. And sit your glutes back to your heels. Extend your arms out in front of you, feel a nice stretch. We're going to take plank steps because we're always prioritizing opening up the hips. Tuck your hips under, press your hands into the floor. Right foot steps outside the right hand, back down. Alternate. So if you can only go here, then you respect your body's range of motion. Keep going. Should also feel your triceps. You are improving fitness. The last one, you're going to hold it. Push that back heel towards the back wall so you feel a deep stretch in your hip. And opposite side, push that heel towards the back wall, really straighten out your knee. Squeeze, contract the glutes so you feel the stretch in your hip joint. Good, and relax. Sit your glutes back to your heels. Walk the hands in front of you so you can feel a nice stretch on your back. So it should be nice and warm. Take a sip of water if you need to. I'm going to take that one more time. So this I would consider a dynamic warm-up. So I've already built in the core, the stability, which is missing in most of our training for your upper body and for your scapula and your shoulder blades. And by the way, in between your sets, lift your knees to the chest to pump blood back up to the heart. You can watch your heart rate monitor to see when you've recovered. All right, let's take that again. Tuck the hips under, draw the belly button in towards your spine. Arms are fully extended, kick it up. You should feel a little more open. Last 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2. Good. Bounce up and down and shake it out. Next movement pattern, we're stepping back with a front arm raise. So think of your fingertips reaching for the ceiling. Belly button is drawn in. If you got to go halfway down, then you modify it. So listen to your body and make sure you have enough space in between your legs so you have a firm base of support. This is going to be too wobbly, so open so you have a nice firm foundation. Set back, front arm raise. So, next movement pattern, use your body weight, or once you are more comfortable, maybe in the next week, you can graduate to using the water bottles, right? But don't rush too forward, too fast. Step forward with the right foot, both hands. Think of yourself picking something up from the floor. So both hands tap down in front of the right foot, come back, full standing press. Alternate sides. Heart rate. Check and see what your heart rate is doing. Lift your knees to the chest. Good. Bounce up and down the balls of the feet. Shake everything out. So you should be feeling nice and warm. Feet open a little bit wider and hip distance apart. Pelvis is tucked under. Lift that leg parallel to the ceiling. Out to the side with the hand clap. Opposite side. Whew. Good. And shake it out. You should be feeling nice and warm. Coming down to the floor for plank. So walk the knees and back of the hips. Squeeze your knees and thighs together. Tuck the hips under. Decline to your elbows. Keep squeezing your knees and your thighs together. You can stay here, or your next level up will be fully extend the legs and breathe it out. Press your elbows into the floor. Draw the belly button in. Press your fists down into the floor. So think of pressing yourself away from the floor. And breathe it out. Whew. If you need to rest, rest and then come right back. Push through the heels, press the elbows into the floor. Whew. Core temperature should be nice and hot. Oh, man. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Sit your heels back to your glutes. Walk your hands out in front of you. Feel a nice stretch in your back. Plank steps. Tabletop position. Tuck the pelvis under. Press the hands into the floor. Scapula or shoulder blades all the way to the skin. If you're down here like this, that's going to compromise your neck and your shoulders. So drag the shoulders away from the ears and press the hands into the floor. Step that right foot outside the right hand, back down, left foot steps outside the left hand, and alternate. Respect your body's range of motion and degree of flexibility. For more challenge, take a full extension and step it out. Hold the last one. Push that back heel towards the back wall. Squeeze your glute in the back extended leg so you can feel a deep stretch in your hip. Step center, opposite side. So push that leg straight, push the heel towards the back wall. Squeeze the glute on the back extended leg. Good. Sit back, glutes to your heels, rock side to side to stretch the front of your ankles. Good. You're also going to take your hands. You wipe the face and get nice and hot. Place your hands on the floor behind you, flat. The fingertips are facing away from you, right? So the fingertips are facing back the opposite direction. You're going to inhale and exhale. Press your hips forward. Squeeze your glutes. You're going to feel a tremendous stretch in the front of your thighs. But it goes all the way down to your knees, which is really important if you have issues with your knees. The connective tissue usually here is very, very tight. Again, hands are flat. Inhale. Exhale, press the hips forward. Squeeze your glutes so you feel a big stretch. You're opening the front of the body and relax. One more time. Press the hands into the floor and press your hips forward. Squeeze your glutes. Going to relax and come up. So you should be thoroughly warm. Take a little sip of water. All right. Woo. So the beautiful thing is, this is nice and functional. All of this you can do from home. So lift the knees to the chest. You can just use your arms if you need to, right? When we get to the arms portion, You don't need to use weight, and then when you're ready to graduate up, you can add water bottles, right? So don't move too fast, too soon. You want to give your nervous system and your muscles and connective tissue a chance to know what you're going to do, right? So you want to prep it. So let's just gently tick-tock the head side to side, finish our warm-up. Now that might be a full movement practice for somebody. So listen to your body, but this is all warm-up. Look over opposite shoulders, warming up the head and neck. As we mature, even if you weren't mature, but especially as we mature, take the time to do your warm-up and curl the chin into your chest and then look backwards. Gentle head rolls. You may be mirroring me, but I'm going to my right side. Gentle fluid movement, motion, and opposite direction. Good. Big shoulder rolls to the rear. Think of your shoulders coming up towards your ears. So you're warming up the muscles in the back of your neck and shoulders and trapezius. Opposite direction. Big shoulder rolls. Let the shoulders come up. Good. You're going to round your back. Think of bringing the back of your hands together so you're rounding your back in a body wave. And then open up the chest. Round your back. Open up the chest. Round your back. Open up the chest, round the back, open up the chest. Place your hands on your thighs. If you need to hold on to a chair, back of a chair or a broomstick, you can hold that in front of you. Otherwise, hold on to your thighs. And we want some undulation or some fluid movement of the spine. So drop your chest and torso down. Head goes last like a whip, and then round your back up. And then the head comes up. Drop the torso down and round your back up. Drop it down, round it up. Drop down. Round it up one more time. Drop it down. And up. So, we love capoeira and functional movement. Some of my favorite types of play is traditional ancestral forms of movement. So, feet are open, a little bit wider than hip distance. We started with Jingo, which is the foundation in capoeira. So, you're going to step back and down. Step to the line, this invisible line, or you can even use, if you want to, the front of your mat. You can also use your mat as a guideline. Opposite leg, I'm on the ball of my foot, and I'm dropping down. Come to the center, step back and down. Come to the center. It's like a dance and a martial art, and down. The hands are here. Don't cover your eyes, but you do want to guard your face, and then switch the arms. Switch the arms. Switch the arms. So we're going to combine the two together. So step back and down. Other hand comes up to guard the face. Come to the center and switch. So this would be your Jenga, center, and switch. So this would be Jenga. Try to get a little bit wider, a little bit lower. Jenga and Jenga. Jenga and Jenga. Jenga, get a little lower. Jenga and Jenga. Back at the center. You're going to dodge the kick. Somebody's kicking over your head. So you're going to go down to the side. This hand is going to go down to the floor. This leg is going to get a stretch. This leg is getting kind of like a little bit of a squat. So I'm going to the side, keeping my eye on my opponent. Come up to the center. Over to the other side, nice and easy. Center. And side. And side. Press that hand down because you're going to practice preparing to get knocked down or to fall. Hand goes flat. Hand goes flat. Hand goes flat. Back to Jenga. 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 And Jenga. Let's open up the hips. So if you have a stool or a chair, a foam roller, you can stand in front of you. You're going to take an external hip rotation. If you need to bend the knee, then you bend the knee. So hands up. And then open up the hips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So a side kick doesn't have to be very high, but you don't want to fling the foot. You want to think of the front part of your foot is what ideally what would be making contact with your target. So don't just fling the foot. You want to pick it up, reach your target, and put it down with control. So you'll feel your obliques are working. You're also challenging your balance and strive to synchronize your breath with the movement, right? So here's a standing leg. You're gonna pick up the other leg, kick out, and then put it back in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slow down if you need to. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, good, and 1. So just your arms or a water bottle or a basketball. Start with the feet together. You're going to step out to the side and press. So step, press. Make sure when you press, you don't tuck your pelvis or you don't tilt your pelvis forward. You want to make sure your pelvis is tucked under so you're protecting your back. So step, press. 3, 4, 5. Elbows go straight. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, good, and 1. Right? So you can either have a yoga block down on the floor or your ball or a small stool. All I want you to do is to tap, 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 tap. Let's see what the heart rate is doing. So just tap. So all I want you to do is tap. Now, your core muscles should still be engaged. All I want you to do is tap and tap. See if you can pick the leg up. Hip flexors are working just a little bit, but your core is engaged. Get the heart rate up. So tap and tap. Go slow if you need to. Keep your eye on the ball or the block or the stool. Good, and relax. Good, coming down to the floor again. Ooh, got a lot of core today. So, walk your knees in back of the hips, tuck your hips under, squeeze the glutes. You can stay right here, level 1, or extend the legs, tuck your hips under, belly button is drawn into the spine. If your stomach is shaking, that's fine. Keep pulling the belly button into the spine. Press your fists into the floor, press your elbows into the floor so you're not sinking down. And breathe it out. Drop your knees to the floor to rest if you need to. Halfway there. 15 seconds to go. Keep pressing the elbows into the floor. So this is really super activating your core. Woo. 5, 4, 3, 2. Sit your glutes back to your heels. Walk your hands out in front of you. Coming up, let's open up the hips on the opposite side. So external hip rotation. Belly button floating should be nice. And 1, hands up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Internal rotation. 1, 2, 5 more. 2, and 1. So side kick. So remember, you want to pick the foot up. Ideally, the front part of your foot will be making contact with your target. Incorporate your breath. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Relax. 10, 9. Slow it down if you need to. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you should feel a little bit of your obliques also. So you can just use your body weight or a basketball or a water bottle that you hold horizontal. Start with the feet together, step, step, press it up. Arms go straight at the top. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you should thoroughly be warm by now. My heart rate is at 81%. Just glance down at your heart rate so you can see what your heart rate is doing. Other beautiful thing, pump your knees and blood back up to the heart, is when you see what you have to do to burn off some fuel, it should make you more conscientious of, dang, all of that movement, and that's all I burn? Right. So most of us we're eating too much food, whatever label you want to put on it. Coming back down to the floor for another set of plank. Knees are extended in back of you. Right? So knees on back of the hips. Squeeze the knees together. Tuck the hips under. Right? You can stay right here. Or you can extend your legs. Push the heels toward the back wall. Press your elbows into the floor. Press your fists into the floor. Think of pushing your body away from the floor. 10 seconds. Listen to your breath. Should feel a little bit easier, even though you've been working a little bit longer. 20 seconds. 30. 40. Drop your knees down to the floor. Rest if you need to. 10 seconds to go. When you lose it, it's challenging to get it back. And rest. Set your glutes back to your heels. Walk your hands out in front of you. Feel a nice stretch. So it's not fun to be deconditioned. It's actually very challenging to get your conditioning back. Let's take that toe tap. So you can either have the yoga block or your ball or something stationary that's not going to move around. You're going to take a quick set of toe taps. 3, 2, and go. So if you have to go here, but lift the foot up and actually tap the block or the ball. Use your arms to help you get the feet up. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and shake it out. Heart rate should be up. All right, take a sip of water. We're gonna switch gears for just a little bit, and we're gonna work on our back, right? So, no gym, no problem. I've worked in some top gyms, and I never like to be dependent on machines. Additionally, your body wasn't born, right? You were not born inside of a machine. So I pride myself in being creative and making my own machine, right? So I'm just come over here. I'm gonna work our back muscles. I don't know if I can reach up there. I'm a little short. Make sure you lock the door so you don't have a surprise. So you want to even it out. So we're gonna work our back muscles over here and also our arms a little bit. We're gonna cover the whole body this 30 days, right? So you're gonna put the door anchor into the door. Make sure you lock it shut. Your palms are gonna be facing the floor. So this is really good for stability, right? Not just for growth, but for stability. So I want your arms fully extended. The palms are facing the floor. You're gonna take actually one foot and you're gonna rest one foot on the heel, right? So basically one foot is gonna be on the heel. So your pelvis is tucked under. That's gonna help with your posture, right? Palms face the floor. I'm gonna have my right foot on the heel and think of pulling your arms down to the outside of your hips. Arms go straight. Chest is open. You can open your palms a little bit, but the arms are going right to the outside of the hips. That's 10, 9, 8. My nose is itching. 7 with sweat. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and a little brief pause. So you should feel your arms getting a little toasty. Again, this is so good for scapular stability, right? So again, tuck your pelvis under so there's no arching in your back. Press it down again. Hands come to the outside of your hips. Good. Pause. Take another 10. A little pause. We're going to take another 10. Now it's starting to burn. Go again. 3, 2, and 1. So my back is on fire. We're going to take the last one. Again, pelvis is tucked under. Press it down. Elbows are straight. Chest is open. Ooh. And that is officially burning. You're going to either use your body weight, is fine, right? If you need to use your body weight, or you can use 2 water bottles. I'll show you the 2 that I have here. But whatever long water bottles you have, I have a full set of different sizes. But initially, just go through the movement pattern without the water bottle so you can be mindful of engaging your core so your guts are not all poking out, right, as you're bent over, because that really compromises the back. I'm going to grab 2 dumbbells. Feet a little bit wider and hip distance apart. Stomach muscles drawn in. Hinge forward with a flat back. Think of reaching your hips and glutes back. I can feel the weight, like the resistance of the weight in my nose is itching. And my palms are facing my knees. I'm going to quarter turn and think of squeezing my hand in a karate chop in the center of my back. Extend down, feel the stretch. Exhale and pull it back. And think of bringing your elbows together behind you. Good, and stand. So you can shake off a little bit, shake your back out, re-engage, and over, flat back, quarter turn, and pull it back with nice fluid control. This also can be accomplished with bands. Take a little rest, shake your back out, because sometimes the back gets tight. Re-engage your core, hinge forward at the hips, and pull it back. Whew. Shake it out. We have one more. Lean forward at the hips. Feel the stretch in the bottom, quarter turn, and row. Pull it back. Whew. And shake it out. You should be feeling nice and warm. I'm going to take a little commercial break. I'm going to come back over to the side, and we're going to use our mat. So you see, no gym, no problem. We don't ever want that to be an excuse, ever. Ever again. Let's take the heart rate back up, because also, although the back muscles were working, that's not necessarily cardio. Your heart rate can go up a little bit if you're deconditioned, but I want to consider that cardio. So we're going to take the heart rate back up, and you're just going to take a set of the toe taps. Here we go. Good, and relax. So you can either use the bands, or you can use water bottles or your dumbbells. Feet open a little bit wider than hip distance. Tuck the pelvis under. Belly button is drawn in. Palms are going to face forward. So try to open it up a little bit more to 90 degrees. I'm going to rest one foot on the heel, and I do that to make sure I'm engaging my core. Tuck the pelvis under. Exhale, press it up. Ooh, shoulders are getting nice and toasty. All right, we're going to take a bicep curl. So you can either have your feet on top of the bands. So, little note, I am not moving at my shoulder joint. I'm moving from the elbow joint. I'm going to rest one foot on the heel, tuck the pelvis under, arms at a slight angle, curl up with control, and really resist. Squeeze your bicep on the way up. Resist on the way down. Nose is itching. Good, little short rest. We'll take those toe taps again. Here we go. If you need to, you can tap it right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab your resistance Tuck the pelvis under, palms face forward. Press it up. Woo. Bicep curl. So no swinging from the shoulder. Curl up at the elbow. Not too much movement at the wrist. It's from the elbow. Curl it up. Good, and relax. Let's take another set of toe taps. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Shake it out. How are we doing on the heart rate? So heart rate is currently, oh my gosh. We're going to try to squeeze one more set in, and then you can go ahead and stretch on your own. Time flies when you're having fun. Tuck the pelvis under. 90 degrees. Press it up. Bicep curl. Tuck the pelvis under. Rest one foot on the heel. Still synchronizing the breath. Oh gosh. And we are done. Let's come into a nice little stretch. So one knee is down if you need to. You can flip the mat over a little bit extra to have extra cushion underneath your knee. Lunge forward, but then tuck your pelvis under. Squeeze the glute on the bottom leg so you feel that stretch at the hip joint. Reach your fingertips up on the same side where the knee is down, and then reach it over to the opposite side. Keep contracting your glutes so you feel a deeper stretch. Breathe into the stretch. Reach your hips backwards. Nice and easy. Breathe into your stretch. Switch sides. Come into a lunge. So lunge forward, push your hip forward, but then actively tuck your hips under. Squeeze the glute on that bottom leg. Same fingertips, reach up to the ceiling. So think of lifting up and out of the hip, reaching over to the opposite side. Breathe into the stretch. Actively take your hips backwards. So much tighter on this side. Come into a straddle. right? And try not to round your back, right? Respect your body's degree of flexibility. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Think of reaching your chest in the direction of the floor, so don't round your back. Keep extending the chest forward. Feel the stretch in the groin area. Wiggle your feet. Work your way into the stretch. And breathe into the stretch. Continue to draw your belly button in. Walk the hands backwards. So this is my right side. So whatever that is for you, inhale and exhale. So my opposite fingertips, left fingertips are reaching for the right toes. Feel a nice stretch along the side of the body. Circle the arm around, reach it over again. Let the body float up. Over to the opposite side. Inhale and exhale over. Circle the arm, reach it over again. Let the body float up. Sit up nice and tall. Acknowledge yourself for getting up and paying yourself first with your time. Inhale and exhale, drop your head over to the right side. Take your right hand, give a gentle pull. Drop your left shoulder towards the floor. Feel the stretch along the side of the neck. Curl your chin into the chest. Feel the stretch travel. Let the head float up. Gently drop your head over to the left side. Left hand gives a gentle pull. Drop your right shoulder in the direction of the floor. Feel the stretch along the side of your neck. Gently turn your head in towards the chest. Chin is going right in towards the chest. Let the head float up. Lace the fingers. Place them behind the head. Think of bringing the elbows together. Gently nod your head no. Give yourself a big hug. And we are done. So this is day 3 of the 30-day transformation. You're going to take a screenshot. So that's 343 calories. So that's actually pretty good. You're going to take a screenshot from your results from your heart rate monitor. You're going to post it. For those of you that are coaching with me for the 30 days, you're going to place it inside the area where it says daily heart rate monitor. So we have a record of your movement practice the whole 30 days, right? So we're doing process of elimination. There's no way your body could be the same. Definitely your mind is not going to be the same if you have a daily movement practice that's done. You're up early enough now to really take the time to prepare some healthy food for yourself. They go hand in hand. They are not exclusive, right? This is not your excuse to go just eat wonton, eat whatever, because you're going to kill any kind of deficit, right? So create a great day on purpose. Inside your notes, let me know how your body's feeling. You may likely be sore. If you are walking, this is not an excuse now. Still get your steps in for the day, right? You're going to get your walking in, your stretching, and your water, and your nutrition. That is all part of your recovery. So thanks for joining me on these 30 days. This is 30 days of devotion to yourself. Before you're devoted to other people, you go sit in somebody's house of worship and you're praying, but you haven't done anything for yourself. That is a scam and that is self-deception. I invite you to consider, right? So this is practicing devotion to yourself. Devotion over discipline. Think of being devoted and committed to caring and loving yourself, and it shows up in your actions. Create a great day. All right, create a great day.